Hello Internet, and welcome to my new and in fact first ever YouTube channel. Now, just like most channels I see, it's best to start my channel off by talking about a classic game many of us hold dear to our hearts. And that game, of course, is Team Fortress 2. TF2 is basically a classic at this point. I mean, it came out in 2007 and is 17 years old. God. I'm young, it's older than me, dang. Either way, the point is TF2 has been a very influential game that has changed the gaming scene, even though it might have been a bit neglected. A lot of people know TF2. I would say almost everybody, if anybody at my school did. I mean, I could just be the weird one, be the only one that knows it. I mean, I look at some of my favorite YouTube channels, or even just some other ones I browsed upon, and usually their first ever video was something regarding TF2. Let's get to the fact that TF2 has a very strong community. That's why it's still alive 17 years after its release. And another thing to say, I haven't been part of the community for that long, like, at all. I've been playing TF2 for about a year at this point. Luckily, I joined right when Valve decided to do something about the bots. So, since I haven't been playing for that long, I mean, I almost have 600 hours. Is that a lot? I mean, for TF2 standards, is that a lot? I'm not sure. And also, that kind of means I'm not that good at the game. That might just be my excuse I'm making. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I would say mediocre at best, but that might also be contributed to the class I main. Why, yes, the question that dawns upon every TF2 player: which class do you main? Which I would reply with Spy. That's right, I don't have a tan. Jokes aside, I love Spy. He's just so unique to any FPS game, and I know that for a fact since I haven't played any others besides TF2. Well, 007 for N64 if you count that, but believe me, he's special. And let me explain to y'all why this is. Spy, the cigarette-eating, backstabbing man we've all come to either love or hate. Either you adore Spy for his unique place in the FPS game and his hidden potential to be a pup stomper, or you want every kunai lover dead ringer user to burn straight in hell. I know some people do. Spy is definitely a mixed class in the community. He's considered the weakest due to simple communication and other factors, yet he can dominate the whole enemy team since free-to-plays don't know how to turn him around. He's considered one of the hardest class to master, but still in general, he's just very weak. I mean, have you seen competitive Spy clips? It looks miserable. I've never want to be one of them. But definitely a pro. Why do you like Spy? Well, it's actually a very simple question. I don't know how Well, okay, there is more than just that. I mean, that's still a big reason, but either way. Let's keep this talk at the moment relatively small, only regarding TF2 at the moment. The game that Spy is literally from. Because there is going to be a point that can be made about other FPS games. Either way, TF2 is divided into 9 classes, for it is a team-based shooter. Spy is classified under the support classes, but Spy really is more refined to be considered a pick class. Now, what does pick class mean? Well, pick classes are classes that are specialized in picking out targets, mainly by having the ability in some way to take out a class in one shot. Pick classes aren't good at fighting multiple people at once, at least not in a direct situation, because pick classes can't have the ability to chain up their attacks if skilled enough, by targeting one enemy, then moving on to the next one, and the next one, and so forth. In comparison to a power class like Soldier, he specializes in direct combat by being able to do AoE damage by his rockets, which can do splash damage, which can hit multiple people. Of course, he also has to shoot multiple rockets, since a singular rocket one-shotting someone would be pretty broken. But the thing is with Soldier is that you don't really target players in the same way a pick class does. You just see and shoot, if you get what I mean. Let's talk about the other pick class in TF2, Sniper. A sniper character is essentially any FPS game. They are glass cannons, being able to one-shot enemies from far range, but up close can have trouble defending themselves. And this is no different in TF2. Sniper is considered one of the most OP/broken class in TF2, or at least the most hated, due to his potential to skill players. You can really just be all the way across the map and bam, out of nowhere you get shot by a sniper that you had no idea was there. Now, I can't say much for the class since he is my least played class. Funny how one pick class is your most played and the other is your least, but with Sniper, he's a pick class, but from a far range. Spy, on the other hand, is a pick class, but from close range, and I mean melee range close. Now, let me explain how Spy works. Now, if you know anything about Spy or TF2 in general, is that Spy has a knife and is the sneaky Frenchman that sneaks behind players and can backstab them for a plain old one-shot. That's right, the fundamental of Spy is that he has a knife which can one-shot from behind. Wait a minute, that sounds a little weird. Okay. Now, a backstab, as it's called, always one-shot because, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does triple the player's health, always. Now, a simple stab that doesn't register as a backstab does somewhere around a measly 40 damage. So, of course, you're supposed to go for backstabs. So, laying all this down, about this backstab. Every time you are about to engage in a backstab, an animation plays, which is Spy holding his arm for a backstab, which this animation indicates that you can perform a backstab. Also, a back may not always seem where the back of a player is. When TF2 talks about a back of a player, the back is really just the half of the player's hitbox that's behind them, the back half of their hitbox, which is usually bigger than what you see as their backs. So you always see clips where you can see spies that are doing backstabs that are basically just from the side of them or some other BS placement. I know that I definitely had some of those skills in the gameplay you're watching. The fact is that the back in backstab is a very loose term at the end of the day. Just as long as the backstabbing animation plays, you can perform that one shot. But Spy has more than just a knife, you know? I mean, it would be real hard to get behind a player if they can clearly see you, and also if they have the thorough knowledge that you're trying to get behind them. So what else is in Spy's arsenal of tools? Well, the most needed tool in Spy's kit is his Invis watch. Right click and you're now invisible. But that doesn't mean you're gone from this world. You can still bump into players, revealing the outline, you can put it as. So you have to maneuver around players to get behind them. The cloak, as it's called, doesn't last forever either, so you have to use it sparingly. But you can also find ammo kits around maps that will refill it, and it does refill naturally if not in use. The Invis watch is definitely the best tool that Spy has. Well, besides the knife itself, you know, I mean, that they both coexist. I mean, the watch coexists with the, you know, they're both, you know what I mean. But still, cloaking won't be just enough. I mean, you can't backstab while cloaked, so there will always be some downtime when everybody can see you and you're visible to the whole enemy team. So why not become the enemy team? Next in Spy's arsenal is the Disguise Kit. That's right, Spy can disguise as any enemy player on the enemy team. Well, technically any class on the enemy team, because you will disguise as the class you choose, even if they don't have that class on their team. But you will have a bot name, and players should be able to realize that they don't have that class on their team in the first place. Now, many people will tell you that disguising is practically useless in this days and age, since a simple thing called communication exists, where the enemy team can communicate with each other and tell that a certain spy is disguised as a certain player. And there is also the fact that some spies are, very obvious what their disguise is. But I would disagree. If you can disguise as the right character, at the right place, at the right time, and that you actually act like the class you are disguised as, then everybody should be fooled. I've even tricked some high casual players before with disguises. You just need to remember when disguising, if I was this class, how would I be playing? So you use your cloak to get behind the enemy team, you disguise your way behind a player's back, and you backstab, but it's not over yet. The scream of agony from the player you just backstab will alert the nearby teammates. And after performing a successful backstab, your disguise goes away. So you're now visible to the enemy team. Your new goal is to make it out alive. There are a couple strategies you can use to get out, but the one I want to focus on is the one that leads into Spy's primary weapon. I mean, it's in Spy's primary weapon slot, and it is considered a primary, even though Spies focus around backstabbing and all. Whatever, you get the point. So after a backstab, you pull out your revolver and get defending. Remember, kids, Spy has a gun. One thing many players forget is that Spy has a gun. So it's very common to just see spies running towards you with their knives if they get caught out. The janky hitboxes might possibly give you a backstab, but the revolver is consistent and reliable. Yes, that's the good thing with the revolver. It does solid, reliable, and consistent damage. This is why it's good defensively, as if you get caught out, you can switch to your revolver to get a kill. This is why it's good defensively, as if you get caught out, you can switch to your revolver to get a kill, or to at least chip off some of their health while running away. But the revolver is also pretty good offensively. There's a whole subclass where you just use your revolver, and it's because of its consistency. So PSA, if you're stuck in a sticky situation and your knife won't cut it, remember, Spy has a gun. Now, there's only one last tool to talk about, and that's the Sapper. The Sapper is only used in one specific case, or more so to put it, it's only used to counter another class. That class being Engineer, for NG over here builds buildings. His Sentry Gun, which deals pretty good damage and can guard big areas, his Dispenser, which can heal and give ammo to his teammates and himself, and his Teleporters, which, as the name implies, teleport players reliably to the front ground. Now, engineers are great support for their team, but also can be a real nuisance for the enemy team since his buildings are big helps to his teammates, and sentry guns can be real tanky. And that's all with the fact that engineer can repair his buildings. But here comes Spy's sappers. He can place a sapper on the enemy's NG's building while disguised, and he won't lose the disguise while placing the sapper, and it will disable them while slowly draining each building's health. Of course, the engineer can repair it and won't be alerted that his buildings are getting sapped, but it's one of a kind, the only stock TF2 weapon that directly counters a class. Now, one thing to learn is that Spy's sapper work best with an active team, since it takes a while to drain the health of any building. And yes, you could spam the sapper since it doesn't need any recharging or anything, but the NG ought to figure it out soon enough that you're there. But since it disables the building, a teammate of yours can swoop in and destroy it while it's disabled. This is mainly a big benefit for taking out sentries because if they are disabled, they can attack. They can attack back while your teammate easily take it out. Now you know the fundamentals of Spy. Of course, these are only fundamentals. Each skill Spy has built upon itself to strengthen himself until all skills are fully mastered and you practically know and can perform everything Spy has to offer. And that is one of the reasons I just love Spy. His skills are most unique to him since he specializes in a very specific field, which is sneaking around and fooling the enemy team. When you fool an enemy team, you feel great about it, getting backstabs after backstabs without them suspecting a thing. Which I must say, if you're doing good with Spy, God, does it feel good? Spy is definitely one of the most satisfying things in life, right next to those male audience TikToks. You know the ones. A backstab is really satisfying, I mean, wow, like, look at all those numbers. It gives me dopamine. Plus the clean swoosh of the animation when performing a backstab, it's just like, damn, I just love this class. Plus with Spy, you can really get caught in the moment, just everything planned out without a second thought. I know I'm having a good game when I'm making these split-second decisions, and they all come out successful. Spy just has this certain aura to him that just feels great. He really is the odd one out in some regard. And now expanding the statement, in every FPS or even class-based shooters, you never see a class like Spy. He's really just his own thing. At least that's what I've heard of. As stated, TF2 is the only FPS I've ever played. But still, from what I've heard, he's not in Overwatch, nor Apex Legends, nor Valorant, nor any other game except TF2. This is one main reason I just love Spy, just how unique he is to this genre of gaming, and just the feel sneaking around is still a great feeling. Another reason I must say that I love Spy is because I'm not good at aiming. Yep, I don't know how to aim, and that might be since I am a gaming sin by being left-handed. That's right, for all you normal people out there, I mean, actually, anybody that plays TF2 is normal, so what am I saying? You have your mouse on the right side of the keyboard. I have mine on the left side of my keyboard. Well, actually on like the top of it on the left side, so top left, yeah. Either way, since my humble beginnings in TF2, my aim has improved. Scout is my second favorite class, I would say, but it doesn't mean I'm good at aiming still. As I've stated, Sniper is my least played class, whopping around 2 hours, I think? Maybe 3? Honestly, I don't remember. I mean, just... come on. How do you connect these heads to the gun? Oh my gosh, how do you do it? I don't understand. I just don't get Sniper. And honestly, I don't plan on getting him anytime soon. Sniper is also typically not the most aggressive class compared to Spy. I mean, Sniper can be aggressive. Most good Sniper mains are, I believe. I mean, please don't get mad. Y'all Sniper mains are very good. Just please, I don't know y'all. People, please don't be sending, don't type anything in the comments. I'm sorry, I don't know y'all. How do y'all do this already? Either way, getting back on track. But I'm going to need at least some experience to be aggressive in Sniper. Just in general, demos, pipes, tracking with heavies, minigun, even sometimes with soldiers' rockets, I have trouble aiming. And don't get me wrong, you need to aim for Spy too. The revolver, as I stated, is a good defensive and offensive tool, which has saved me a lot of times, but Spy isn't centered around his revolver. This leads me to the fact, also supporting on the fact that Spy is so unique, is that you have to think real differently when playing Spy. Now this of course can be stated for any class in TF2, they all play differently, but due to Spy playing the most differently, you have to think the most differently as well. Most classes, it's about finding the most productive place to be, keeping good track of targets while also being self-aware, and figuring out how to get to the front lines the fastest, stuff like that. And Spy does have to keep at least some of that in mind, but it's more so in a different way to think about it, like, how do I maneuver behind the enemy team without getting caught? So he has to be behind the enemy team to be more productive. And like, which target is the most distracted at the moment for a good backstab, which is like being self-aware, you have to like keep track of every target, and how do I escape after performing a backstab? Spy is usually on his own due to his placement and being effective, so Spies have their own way of thinking, but that's still the same with any other class. But that's to wrap up this video for right now. Honestly, I've been working on this script for probably not even that long, like YouTube-wise in a way, like making sure I'm not sure how long it usually takes. But either way, I don't have that much of intentions for a proper conclusion. Let me just get out of the way. This is my first ever video ever. It's not going to be good. I know the script won't be that good, nor will the editing. Honestly, I just want to upload this video as a test for the waters and see how scripting, editing, and just recording goes. But yeah, I plan to upload more videos, and also more than just TF2. I have ideas for a bunch of videos and games. Let me state, I definitely do have ideas for TF2 videos. I mean, those are probably going to be some of the videos I release first. But, I mean, I'm also probably going to add in some gameplay of just me and my friend goofing around as well in other games. But, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I hope I can see you again soon. Have a good day. or so you thought. That's right, I have a few more things to say because oh my gosh, this ended up a bit differently than I thought it would be. So, number one, I'm just gonna say the gameplay. I don't know what is wrong with my TF2, but it is running like so bad out of nowhere. Like I'm trying to do things to like improve my FPS, but either way, and also I haven't played TR Walkaway that much, so you could tell I was a little confused at sometimes. But either way, there's a few things I need to state. Number one, I am so sorry about my mic quality. It is so bad. I'll just be honest. And I mean, you do not want to see my setup right now. And also, I just want to add a bit more that this script was not really directionless. Well, I mean, it was directionless. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. But either way, yeah. I didn't really have any structure. I was just like, you know what? This is just a practice run. I'm not really gonna try. I'm just gonna write it down and just say it all. And I mean, I realized I could have still made it a bit better in a way because this is basically just a presentation on drugs. Like this is just a sit post at this point because it took me till like. I mean, I was working on this till like 1 a.m. last night, and then it took me till then to realize I could have just shown game clips instead of like editing this all in like a presentation. You know, I mean, I mean, at least I'm gonna laugh at this. But either way, the thing is, I am gonna make like try and actually make some good videos. But I mean, really, that's all I wanted to say. Just thanks for watching, and have a good day. Hope you come back again. See you.